Dear students, in this lecture, we will learn about the construction of a wave packet. Students, in the previous lecture, we studied that a moving particle cannot be represented by a single wave train because phase velocity comes out to be much greater than particle velocity. Then Schrodinger suggested that a moving particle has to be represented by a group of waves, this is called wave packet. So in this wave packet, there occurs the interference among the waves. There is the constructive interference where the particle can be located, and outside that region there is the destructive interference. Students, this I explain by taking the example of the phenomena of beats, where there occurs the superimposition between the two waves of nearly the same frequency, and then there occurs the alternation in the intensity of the resultant wave. Same happens in case of the wave packet or the group of waves. Now, for construction of the wave packet, we have to start from a single wave. So a simple harmonic wave of frequency nu, that is equal to omega upon 2 pi. Omega is angular frequency, wavelength lambda, 2 pi upon k, k is wave number. So in one dimension, this equation is y as a function of x and t is equal to a is amplitude exponential iota kx minus omega t, equation 1. So the wave number k and angular frequency omega are related to the particle properties. Now, for example, by the de Broglie relation, the momentum of the particle p is equal to h by lambda. It is multiplied by 2 pi and divided by 2 pi. So h upon 2 pi is h cross and 2 pi by lambda is k. So momentum of the particle is related to the wave number k by this equation 2. Similarly, the relation between energy and frequency was established by Max Planck while explaining the spectrum of the black body radiations, and this relation is given by E is equal to h nu, or energy E is equal to h cross omega, equation 3. Now, a wave packet is constructed by the principle of superimposition. So according to this principle, when a number of waves are traveling in a medium, then the resultant displacement at a point is equal to the vector sum of the displacements due to individual waves. That is, psi is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 and so on, or summation of y, equation 4. If you are having a large number of waves which are differing from one another by slightly different values of k, then psi can be expressed as equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi minus infinity to plus infinity, the range of integration. Ak is the amplitude function, e raised to power iota kx minus omega t dk, equation 5. So such type of integral we also came across in PSC part 2 while studying the Fourier theorem. In Fourier theorem, a periodic function is expressed as a sum of sine and cosine functions. And when it is expressed in a complex notation, there we come across such type of integrals. So if we take the equation in terms of particle properties, then psi xt is equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi h cross minus infinity to plus infinity ap e raised to power iota s cross px minus et, and p here is the variable of integration, equation 6. And inverse of 5, equation 5 is this: ak, a as a function of k is equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi minus infinity to plus infinity psi xt e raised to power minus iota kx minus omega t dx. So in these equations, suppose equation 5, if we know the value of the amplitude function ak, we can calculate the value of the function psi. Inversely, if we know the value of psi, we can calculate the value of ak. Now, the wave packet psi in one dimension is represented diagrammatically like this one. Here the amplitude of psi is large, and then the amplitude decreases on both sides. Here time we have taken to be 0. So the likelihood of the particle to be found is more at the position where the value of psi is large. For example, in this diagram here there is more likelihood of the particle as compared to this position or this position. Corresponding to this wave packet, the amplitude function ak is shown here. It is maximum here, then it decreases on both sides. For example, let us take some value of ak and see how the value of psi is calculated. Let the amplitude function ak be. So ak is equal to 1 by under root a in the range of minus a by 2 less than equal to k less than equal to a by 2, and it is equal to 0 outside this region. For example, when k is greater than a by 2, it is equal to 0. This is equation 8, and this a as a function of k is shown in this figure here. When k is greater than a by 2 or less than a by 2, so the value of ak is 0. Now this value of k we substitute in equation 5, and so the Fourier transform of ak is, time again we take it to be 0, and psi x is equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi minus a by 2 plus a by 2 is 1 by under root a value of ak e raised power iota kx dk. So range of integration is minus a by 2 to plus a by 2, because outside this region the value of the amplitude function ak is 0, and the value of this integral can be easily calculated. E raised power iota kx, again integrand is we know that integral of e raised power iota kx is equal to e raised power iota kx divided by iota k, and after evaluating this integral we find it equal to under root of 2 upon pi a sine ax by 2 divided by x, equation 9. So now we plot psi as a function of x. So when x is 0, the value of this function psi is maximum, and because of this property, when limit when theta goes to 0, sine theta divided by theta, that is equal to 1, and this plot is shown here. When x is 0, the value of the function is maximum under root of a upon 2 pi, and then it decreases on both sides, and this range is 4 pi upon a. So when x is equal to 0, the value of psi is large. That means the likelihood of finding the particle is more in near the region x is equal to 0, and then this probability or likelihood then decreases on both sides. So students, in the next lecture we will try to find out the relation between the wave velocity and particle velocity. Moreover, and first of all, we will derive the expression for the group velocity. Thanks for listening.